The Young and the Restless. Victor is shot. Ray Wise delivers tour de force performance. And two people get shot during a showdown at the Newman Ranch. I will explain everything. Never miss this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Victor is shot. Ray Wise delivers tour de force performance. Over the past year or two, viewers have been treated to significant episodes of The Young and the Restless in which the action stays inside the A-plot and does not stray from it. The top-rated soap opera stuck to the plot on Wednesday, January 29th. In it, Ian Ward's reign of terror came to a breathtaking conclusion, and Ray Wise showed us why he is among the greatest actors of all time by portraying a man who is genuinely dangerous, deeply damaged, and rotten to the core. With his gun-wielding antics, rage, cruelty, and insane plan, Ian Ward and Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, engaged in an epic duel throughout the entire episode. Ian remembers how Victor's thugs woke him up and took him to the property as the scenes unfold. Since he had no idea if the Newman family would attack, assault, or kill him, he only sees his gun as a means of self-defense. Ian is informed by Victor that he is a sick man. Ian refuses to speak to Victor or negotiate anything until the whole Newman family, including Adam, Mark Grossman, and Abby, is summoned and arrives in the living room, pointing his gun at Nick, Joshua Morrow. Ian declares he is going to destroy the entire clan and orders Victor to send everyone to the home right away. Ian wants to start the celebration. As a result, Victoria, Amelia Heinel, Claire, Haley Aaron, and Nikki are called downstairs. Ian loses all control of his passion for Jordan, Colleen Zink, and accuses Claire and the Newmans of being responsible for her passing. At the very least, he yells, Jordan will receive justice. After killing her friend and injuring her, Nikki claims she doesn't deserve justice and that Jordan was just as bad as she was. Claire informs Ian that her aunt didn't care about him and was simply pretending to love him in order to obtain what she wanted. Ian believes Claire should be held accountable for Jordan's passing. Adam enters a terrifying scene and is greeted by Ian, who remembers their time as co-conspirators. Victor asks Ian once more if a deal can be reached. Ward believes he's making a financial offer. Victor claims that in order to save his family, he would sacrifice his entire empire. Ian then queries Victor about if he would sacrifice himself to save his family. I would be happy to do so, adds Victor. Victor gets up from his chair and tells Ian that they should talk about the money he will pay him by taking a ride off the property. Ian declines. Ian doesn't care about the money, even though Victor promises him a fortune. Ian gets even more insane after he provokes Nikki into believing that Abby is Victor and Ashley's child and not hers. And Victor acknowledges that Abby isn't there because he never called. Ian then instructs Victor to choose the first person to death. Victor replies, I am the only one who dies, and labels Ian a coward. After that, Ian shoots Victor. Victor, who is now injured, somehow attacks Ian, and the two battle on the couch as the gun goes off and a bullet strikes Ian, who is also heavily bleeding. Victoria and Nikki attempt to keep Victor awake so he doesn't pass out, while Nick keeps a gun on Ian until the cops and paramedics show up. Ray Wise is the best villain there is, and even though this might have been totally ridiculous, Wise manages to make us believe how terrifying, dangerous, deranged, and disturbed Ian Ward actually is. Wise's long career demonstrates his talent as an actor, as evidenced by his roles as Jamie Rollins on Love of Life, Lillian Palmer / Killer Bob on Twin Peaks, and of course, Ian from Y&R. Two people get shot during a showdown at the Newman Ranch. Ian is pointing a gun at Victor, Nick, Michael, and his goon Mortensen at the Newman property. Victor says he will never get past security, and he tells them to back off. Victor is certain that he is merely signing his death warrant, but Ward is prepared to take a chance. He asks, "Want to make a deal?" Ian laughs at that. He has no intention of engaging in negotiations with them. Victor claims to be surrounded like a dog. Come on, man. Anne responds, "You're going to make me feel bad if you keep talking like that." Nick cautions that he cannot remove them all before security arrives. Ward is adamant about leaving because he knows they won't let him go alive. Mortensen is told to move aside by Ian so that he can examine him for weapons. Ian announces that the playing field is a little more level after rendering the henchman unconscious with a pistol. Victor tells him that he's gone too far as he laughs. Nick insists that he inform them of Tessa and Aria's whereabouts. Nick won't give in, even though Ian maintains he doesn't know. Michael convinces him to back down as he continues to yell. Ward claims that they attacked him and pulled him over there in the middle of the night. He merely returned to Genoa City in search of atonement. But they didn't acknowledge his transformation. Victor remarks, "You are a sick man." They have pushed him to this point, according to Ian. They are responsible for whatever follows. He will bring the Nguyen family down with him if he goes down, and he will go out big. When Victor declines, he cocks the gun and demands that the other kids be summoned over. He reiterates his demand that Victor call his other children, threatening to shoot Nick at this very moment. Michael steps up and urges Ian to stop this. He's sure he doesn't want to sacrifice himself just to go after the Newmans. Why throw away his freedom over this? Ian points out that Victor has already made it clear he will never be free. There's no sense in not doing this. He's compassionate, so he tells Michael that he can go. Michael refuses to turn his back on his boss, who has been more of a father to him than his own father ever was. His loyalty seems misguided to Ian. Baldwin is determined to make Ward see the rationale of ending things peacefully. "Nope. I'm good," Ian says, demanding once again that the other children be called over so they can finally get to the theatrics and tears. After he threatens to shoot Nick in the head, Victor calls Adam and asks him to come over, saying it's an emergency. Ian starts giggling. He exclaims, "Let's start this party," and then calls for Nikki to come downstairs so she can watch what is going to happen to her family. Nikki, Claire, and Victoria file down the stairs. A few moments later, the sight of the man on the floor makes her gasp. She asks Victor what happened, and then she sees Ian and gasps once more. "An absolute sleepover? My lucky night," exclaims Ian with delight. Ward informs her that they must all pay for her husband's destruction of his faith in the possibility of salvation. Ian tells Victor to refer to Abby as the sassy one after he has gathered the family to one side of the room. Victor calls, sighing, and tells her that there is an emergency and that she should come over. Victoria finds this to be absurd. What's the point? According to Ian, he is rescuing the world from the Newman abyss. He responds that she will go last after seeing the deaths of everyone she loves when Nikki makes fun of him. Victoria begs Ian to release her daughter, but he believes she is guilty because she participated in Jordan's death. He acknowledges that he formed a bond with the late madwoman. He fell in love with her out of the blue because of her innocence. She was killed by the Newmans. Ian claims she would never leave him, despite Victor's insistence that she committed suicide. In the same way that they have taken everything from everyone, they took her from him. According to him, Jordan will at least receive justice. After tormenting her and killing her companion in cold blood, Nikki claims she doesn't deserve retribution. Like him, she was pure evil. Ian claims she never got it. Stepping up, Claire says that her aunt could never have loved him. She was a sociopath and only capable of hatred. If she pretended to love him, it was only to manipulate him. Ian says that her aunt loved her, but Claire refuses to accept that and says she weaponized her against people who are kind and generous. That invites a guffaw from Ian, who rails about how the Newmans take what isn't theirs and threaten those who get in their way. Claire tells him that her aunt complained about him. That outrages him, and he starts at her with the gun. Victor barks at him to back off, and Victoria begs again for him to let her daughter go. Ward complains that Claire's mouth is pure Newman, so she stays. He refuses to accept that Jordan would take her own life and accuses them of luring her in and pushing her to death, pointing at Claire. He says she needs to be punished. Adam walks in, surprised to see what's going on. Ian reminds him they used to be partners in crime and tells him to join the others. With the whole family in one corner, Ian laughs that he can feel the love washing over him. Victor asks him again if they can make a deal. Ward assumes he's offering money. When Victor says he would give up his whole empire to save his family, everyone shakes their heads. Ian asks if he would give up his own life to save them, after Victor declares he would happily do so. Nick says that Ian wouldn't be able to get his first shot off before it came at him. It's all of us, or none of us, declares Nikki. Backing up, Ward sadly says he wanted a family with Jordan, but's not to be. Adam asks Ian what his price is, claiming to have seen firsthand how practical he is. He is constantly caught doing the dirtiest things, Ian claims, and he is his father's stooge. He is aware of his bitterness toward his father and the entire family. Ian makes fun of Nick and Victoria's protests before returning to Nikki. He claims that Victor is the only one who has ever owned her. They have the kind of love he could never understand, she says. Ian remarks, so wonderful it drove you to booze. For a larger share of the pie, he believes any of them would be prepared to sell their soul. Victor gets up from his seat and tells him that unless they strike a deal, he won't survive. Ian is aware, and he has no plans to leave. Additionally, he doesn't want Victor to survive. Victor promises him a fortune and tells him not to be a fool. Ian doesn't care about money. He only wants to see his body lying on the ground. Victor agrees to drive off the property with him after he reiterates his offer of money. How many marksmen would be aiming at me while they do? Ward wonders. As Nikki watches, he reenacts his plot to murder each member of his family one at a time. Victor acknowledges that he didn't call Abby when he asks why she hasn't arrived. Nikki is asked by Ian how she handles seeing her spouse show love for a child he fathered with a different woman. It must serve as a reminder of all the suffering he inflicted upon her. Nikki maintains that nothing can separate them because they are a family. Ian dismisses this as pitiful and encourages Victor to choose the first casualty. Victor says, I am the only one who dies. Calling him a coward, he takes a step toward him. He gets shot in the arm by Ian. Ian tells the family not to call anyone as they huddle around Victor, who is bleeding. Ward is abruptly pushed into the couch by Victor's lurches. Ian gets struck when the gun goes off. Victor falls to the ground and is lifted up by his family. Michael phones for an ambulance while Nick seizes the gun. Victor asks, Did I get the son of a bitch? I saved them all. Adam tells his father. As Victor complains, Nikki and Victoria mop up his blood. He struggles to keep his eyes open despite their best efforts to keep him awake. She's beautiful, he murmurs to his wife. Ian is still on a chair, still bleeding. Nick is prompted by him to use the rifle and complete the task. Nick opposes the idea of cold-blooded murder. Ian laments that he would like to see him suffer a protracted and agonizing death. Nick replies it sounds fairly fantastic to him when he considers the suffering he has caused others. The Young and the Restless spoilers Thursday, January 30. Chance's shocking news. Maria's world implodes. The Young and the Restless, Lie and R. Spoilers for Thursday, January 30, reveal that the Newmans will deal with the aftermath of the hostage mayhem Ian Ward, Ray Wise, launched at the ranch. An EMT will arrive on the scene and assess the situation now that there are 2 gunshot victims. Ian fired at Victor Newman, Eric Braden, before taking a bullet himself, but who will survive? Victor isn't leaving the show, so he's obviously going to pull through following his upcoming hospital visit. Ian, on the other hand, is nearing the end of his story arc. So will he face a grim fate? If Ian doesn't make it, Mariah Copeland, Karen Grimes, will have more reasons to worry about Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and Aria Porter Copeland, Maddie, and Millie Ingle. Although Maria's been holding out hope that there's some other explanation, she feels confident Ian is to blame for her missing wife and daughter deep down. Ian denied taking Tessa and Arya, but he's also told plenty of lies since he came back to Geno City. Maria's world will get turned upside down in Thursday's I and R episode, so she might learn Ian is deceased or at least in a coma. Despite Maria's desire to wipe Ian off the map, she didn't want it to happen before Arya and Tessa were found. Maria may panic even more if she realizes Ian has taken Tessa and Arya's location to the grave. Of course, it's possible someone else is behind Arya and Tessa's kidnapping, but it's also possible the simplest answer is the right one if Ian indeed took them somewhere. No matter what mess they're stuck in, Tessa might plot an escape with Arya or try to alert Maria to where they are. One way or another, Maria will hope for a family reunion as soon as possible. Over with Chance Chancellor Connor Floyd. He'll investigate the confrontation that just played out between Ian and the Newman clan. Chance will get witness accounts and ultimately discover a shocking truth. So we'll bring you more predictions on all the huge news ahead. Even if Ian doesn't survive, he might try to blame Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, and the other Newmans for Jordan's, Colleen Sank, demise on the way out. Will Ian push Chance to get justice for Jordan? Regardless, the Young and the Restless spoilers say Chance will seek updates on all the wild Newman family drama, so stay tuned. CDL's where you want to be for terrific Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so make us your favorite E and R hotspot. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.